रे। जय जय राधा कृष्णा युगल मिलन। आरती करो वे ललिता आदि सखी गण। जय जय राधा कृष्णा युगल मिलन। आरती करो वे ललिता आदि सखी गण। जय जय राधा कृष्णा मदन मोहन रूपा त्रिभंग सुंदर। पीतांबर शिखी पुच्छा चूड़ा मनोहर। मदन मोहन रूपा त्रिभंग सुंदर। पीतांबर शिखी पुच्छा चूड़ा मनोहर। जय जय राधा कृष्णा ललिता माधव वामी वृषभानुकन्या। सुनील वसना गौरी रूपे गुणी धन्या। ललिता माधव वामी वृषभानुकन्या। सुनील वसना गौरी रूपे गुणी धन्या। जय जय राधा कृष्णा नानाविध अलंकार कोरि झलमाला। हरि मनो विमोहन वदन उज्ज्वल। नानाविध अलंकार कोरि झलमाला। हरि मनो विमोहन वदन उज्ज्वल। जय जय राधा कृष्णा विशाखादि सखी गण नाना रागे गाए। प्रिय नर्म सखी जत चामर ढुलाए। जय जय राधा कृष्णा श्री राधा माधव पद सरसीज आशे। भक्ति विनोद सखी पदे सुखे भासे। जय जय राधा कृष्णा युगल मिलन। आरती करो वे ललिता आदि सखी गण। जय जय राधा कृष्णा युगल मिलन। आरती करो वे ललिता आदि सखी गण। जय जय राधा कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय राधा कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna Mataji, very nice. Thank you so much. Hare
थैंक यू
Krishna.
माता जी, थैंक यू।
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Manjula Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji. Not for me, Mataji. Hare
Hare,
Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Devika Mataji.
Mataji, we can take one more kirtan, or you want to start?
Mataji, you have 4 more minutes, Mataji.
Yeah, it's okay for you, or you want to start?
No, Mataji, you can have one more kirtan.
Okay. I'm taking the Navagauravaram, Shri Shri Sachi Sutashtakam. Navagauravaram, Nava Pushpasharam, Nava Bhavadar, Dasya Param, Dasya Taram, Nava Hemavaram, Pranami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Nava Premayutam, Sucham, Navaveshatam, Navapremarasam, Navadavilasa Shubha Premayam, Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Hari Bhakti Param, Hari Namadharam, Japyakaram, Hari Namaparam, Nayani Satatam, Pranayashrudaram, Pranamami Sati Sutta Gauravaram, Satatam Janata Bhavata Paramartha Parayana Bhagavatim Navalihakaram Jagatapharam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Nija Bhakti Karam Priya Charukaram Natana Rajaguram Pulakamini Manasalasya Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Karathalavalam Kalakantaravam Mriduvadya Suvinakayamadu Nija Bhakti Gunavrita Natyakaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Yuga Dharma Yutam Sutam Dharani Suchitram Bhava Bhavachitam Tanu Dhyana Chitam Nijavasayutam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Arunam Nayanam Charanam Vasanam Vadane Skalitam Svakanamadharam Kurute Surasam Jagajivanam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna. So today we are starting with our 13th chapter. Hare Krishna. I hope everyone is fine. Let me share my screen. We had a break. We all celebrated our Radha Ashtami yesterday. Hare Krishna. Okay, I've done your course, Mataji. Hare Krishna all. So without any further delay, we will start with the class. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unnitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadanitam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवय एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Taking the blessings of my Siksha Guru, Namanishadasa, and for the pleasure of Shri Shri Radha Govinda, we will start today's class. So today we are discussing chapter number 13, that is Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Avibhaga Yoga. Means the nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. The nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness. So we will try to understand what is nature, what is enjoyment, who is the enjoyer, and what is consciousness. So if you see the last chapter, that is chapter number 12. What was chapter number 12? What was the title of chapter number 12? Any one of you can tell me? What was the title of chapter number 12? What is the title of chapter number 12? Very good. Hare Krishna, Mani Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Hare Krishna, everyone. Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. So by now, we all have understood, isn't it? What is the duty of the soul? What is our duty in this material world? According to what Krishna has said, and Krishna has said the best. Yeah, it is the best. It is the topmost. Yeah, it is the secret of all secrets. What is that? What is the duty of us? What we need to do? What is your duty? Why we have been in this material world? Devotional service. Yes, Ambika Mataji. Absolutely right. Yes, for Kali Yuga, Japa. That is a yagna prescribed. Yes, Sankarshan Prabhu. To realize Krishna. Yes, Shatarupa Prabhuji. Yes, absolutely right. So now in the previous chapter, Krishna already said that what is devotional service? He told ultimately you will come to me if you do devotional service. So if that chapter was over there, then why we have the coming chapters? Okay, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Why do we have these chapters left? So in truth, the entire Bhagavad Gita is bhakti. Clearly you have seen Krishna has repeated it, repeatedly telling us whoever is devotees, whoever surrenders to him, they will always go to him. Without any doubt, we will attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. So now, bhakti is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So the first 6 chapters discuss how to achieve bhakti through work. How to achieve bhakti through work. Work in the sense karma. How to do your activities. Yes. How to do bhakti through your work. That is what Krishna explained to us in the first 6 chapters. The last six, okay, the last 6, that is from 13th to 18th chapter, Krishna is telling us how to achieve it through knowledge. And the middle 6, which we already finished, it is about bhakti itself. Okay, bhakti itself. That is why Krishna is called as Jagat Guru. No one else can be a teacher like Krishna, because he knows everything, past, present, and future, and he is the source of all the knowledge. And whatever you need to know by Vedas is by knowing Krishna himself. That is what is the complete essence of Veda, to know Krishna. So these chapters are distributed as such. So even though bhakti is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, how to attain bhakti, how can we achieve it? Yeah, this is very, very important. That is the reason we have these last 6 chapters. So in 12th chapter, Krishna explained, he personally delivers his devotees from birth and death. So fixed devotion service is only way for us to escape from this material world. So the last 6 chapters, we are going to get the philosophical knowledge to make ourselves exit from this cycle of birth and death. Means we need to leave this material world and go to a spiritual world. If you don't feel like leaving this material world, if you don't get a question, why I am in this material world, why I am enjoying, why I am suffering, if you don't get such question, if you don't get a question, why I am suffering, why should I take birth again, why should I have old age, why should I have, adult childhood, then I should have death. So much of technology is developed. Can anyone stop death? Can anyone stop a person from aging? Can anyone stop someone from suffering? Yeah. Is there any way to stop these things? Has anyone succeeded in it? No. Isn't it? Still, we are not able to succeed. Correct? So what is it important? You need to have the question. When you have the question, you try to reach for the answer. When you approach your life like this, then you will end up in Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita gives you that knowledge which will help you to come out of this cycle of birth and death. That is why Bhagavad Gita should be read completely, not just chapter number 9 or not just chapter number 12 or not just chapter number 1 and the last chapter. All the chapters is a complete information. You cannot take it in small parts or chapter wise. Okay. Jnana has its use in assisting our detachment from Maya and our attachment to Krishna. Today I was attending my Bhakti Shastri class. It is the higher level of understanding Bhagavad Gita. So my teacher was telling me just before this class, I was attending that class. She gave us such a beautiful example. So there are different types of devotees. Okay. So Uttama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikari is a person who has faith in Krishna and also has knowledge. He's the topmost devotee. Yes, like Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, he is having the knowledge, all the spiritual knowledge, he has it. And he also has faith in Krishna. That is the person or the devotee called as Uttama Adhikari. Madhyama is a person who has faith but doesn't have a knowledge. And the last is Kanishta. That person, he wants something from the Lord, so he comes and tries to do devotional service. Means he doesn't have faith completely, nor he has knowledge. Yes, nor he has knowledge. In a material world also, if you want to excel in your education field or in your job, you need to have the knowledge and you also have to put it in action. Both are very important, isn't it? So if you want to know Krishna, knowledge is also important. Without knowledge, whatever you do would be something like you're walking blindly. You will succeed in the process of devotional service to a certain level, but you can achieve Krishna if you have knowledge more. You should know why you're doing things. You should know what is the reason you're chanting. You should know what you are, what is Sri Krishna. Then only you can have complete faith on Krishna. So this last chapters will help you to gain that knowledge. So we use knowledge as a means to attain devotion. It becomes part of bhakti. It is a part of bhakti. That is why we have been instructed by Srila Prabhupada that we read Shastras regularly. Even when I am the student of Bhagavad Gita class, that is the Bhakti Shastri class, so many things, the way that my teacher asks me questions, sometimes I don't get it. Means this knowledge is so superior. Me as being a conditioned body, it is very difficult for me to attain immediately. I am not like Prahalad Maharaj. I am a normal fallen soul, the least of the least. It takes time for us to understand. But you can use this knowledge as a means to attain the devotion for the Lord, and you can do devotion service, and that will become part of your bhakti. Okay, so if you see our entire Bhagavad Gita, first 6 chapters are about Karma Yoga, 7 to 12 chapter it is about Bhakti Yoga, and finally 13 to 18 it is about Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga. Okay, so the chapter number 13, shloka number 1 and 2, Arjuna inquires Krishna, my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, Purusha, and the field, and the knower of the field, and of knowledge, and the end of knowledge. Very important question. Okay, he wants to know what are all these things. So the best Lord said, this body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, Kshetra. And the one who knows this body is called as knower of the field. That is called as Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna. Okay, so Prakriti means material nature. We all are in this material nature. Which energy is material in nature of Krishna? What about us? We are which type of energy of Krishna? Material nature is, and the soul is which kind of energy of Krishna? We are all part and parcel of Krishna. So we are different energies of Krishna. Material nature is, who is superior, Mataji? Material nature or the soul? We. Soul is superior nature. Very good. So the inferior energy of Krishna is this material world. And the superior energy of Krishna is we, the soul. Yes, yes, absolutely right. Yes, Vijay Kumari Mataji. Then Purusha. Purusha means the enjoyer. What they're enjoying? They're enjoying the Prakriti. Who is the real enjoyer? Is it the soul or the super soul? Bhoktaram Sarva Tapasa. We remember the shloka? Yes. Who is the Bhoktara? Who is the enjoyer of everything? Is it the soul or the super soul? Very good, Vijay Kumari Mataji. It is super soul. We came down to this material world and we get the conditioned body and we think we are the enjoyer. We are the enjoyer. Yes, Bishal Prabhu. Absolutely right. And the Kshetra, the field. The Kshetra is nothing but this body, the Shariram. Okay. Kshetrajna, observer in the body. So there are 2 souls in our body. One is ourselves, the soul, and Krishna as Paramatma, that is super soul. They both are in this body, the Kshetra. They are going to observe this body. That is why they are called as Kshetrajna. Okay, so the body which is here, in that I am the soul, I know about my body. I cannot know what's happening in others' body. So I am the observer of only this body, my body. Yeah. And what about the super soul? He is present in all the bodies and he knows all the bodies. What's happening in all the bodies, he knows. But whereas my knowledge is limited to my body, that is soul. Okay. Then comes Jnanam, means knowledge. understanding Kshetra and Kshetrajna, means understanding the body, the soul, and the super soul. This is called as knowledge. But now in material world, what is knowledge? Studying different kinds of things is considered as knowledge. But Krishna is telling us what is real knowledge, what is actually the knowledge we require to know what is Kshetra and Kshetrajna, what is body and what is soul and super soul. And Gneyam. So what is the goal of knowledge? So why do you get knowledge? To attain the Paramatma, to reach him, to attain him. Okay, this is the beauty of it. Yes, Mataji.
Kshetrajñam chapi mam viddhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetrajnayo jnanam yattajnanam matam mama. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you should understand that I am also the knower in all the bodies. So I have already explained you, isn't it? Krishna is in everyone's body. When you're awake, you're conscious about what's happening in your body. When you're sleeping, can you know what's happening with your body? What's happening in your body? Can you have that realization? What's happening when you're in sleep? When you are in dreams? Can you remember your dreams completely? Not possible. That is our limited knowledge as a soul. That is our limited power. But the same body has another superior, the ultimate, that is Paramatma, super soul. He knows everything when you're awake, when you're sleeping, what you're doing in the dreams. Yes, and to understand this body and its owner is called knowledge. That is my opinion. If you don't have this knowledge in this material world, then you cannot reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because if you have the knowledge, you will come to know what is Krishna. Once you know who is Krishna, then you will orient all your work, all your activities as a service to Krishna. If you don't know who is Krishna, then how is it possible for us to serve him, have faith in him, have complete surrendering condition to him and do devotional service? How is it possible? It is not possible, isn't it? So the knowledge is very, very important. So for you to understand how the soul and super soul are in the same body, so the soul is like a person like this. This is a field. He is a farmer. He knows the hook and corner of his field. Okay, he knows the hook and corner of his field. But if you consider the sun, he can see all the fields. His rays passes through all the hook and corner of the fields on the earth. So he can see what's happening in all the fields. Similar way, like the farmer, we are the soul. We know what is only in my field, only which is under my control, which is mine, and we feel this body is ours, isn't it? And then what happens? This Paramatma, the super soul, knows what is happening in everyone's body. That is the difference between soul and the super soul. So that knowledge of the field of activities means this body, and the knower of the activities, who knows all the activities of this body, the super soul, is described by various sages in various Vedic writings, especially present in Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra is given by Vedavyasa and also his father Parashara Muni. Okay, with all reasoning as to cause and effect. What is the cause and what is the effect? That is what Shri Krishna is telling. So if you want to know the field of activities, and also you need to know who is the knower of all these activities, then for more information, Krishna is telling, we can refer to Vedanta Sutra. So this thing I've already discussed with you people, Annamaya Kosha, isn't it? These stages are 5. What are these 5 stages? These 5 stages are nothing but the steps to realize the Brahman, to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I've already explained to you people, there are 3 stages of understanding the Lord. That is, first stage is Brahman, that is in the light form. Yeah, last class we Last chapter we discussed it. And then Paramatma as a super soul in our body. And finally, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna himself. As we discussed that, Sun is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. The disk of the sun outside, or the rays which take the sunlight and energy from the sun, that is considered as Paramatma. And the light energy which is spread throughout, it is considered as the Brahman, the impersonalized form of the Lord. Okay, so this 5 stages of realizing Krishna is divided into, depending upon how do you realize the Lord, which is discussed by the greatest sages in Vedanta Sutra. Okay, the first one is Annamaya, means you approach to realize the Lord in the form of food. Annamaya, Anna means food. Okay, so this is usually the materialistic realization. Okay, the food is the Lord. We realize like this. Then comes Pranamaya, means realizing the Supreme above the food. Above the food, like you're associating it with living symptoms. Like it has a form, there is a life form. So living entities are there, living symptoms, this is alive, this is dead. In that way, try to realize the Supreme. Then comes Jnanamaya. So this is realizing the God above the living symptoms. Like, thinking, feeling, and willing. We cannot realize Krishna with this material eyes. You saw Arjuna could not see Krishna, even though he was close friend of Krishna, he could not see with his material eyes. So we need transcendental eyes which can see the Krishna and his forms. So you try to realize Krishna on the platform of the feeling, okay? How do you think and the willingness to see him? Means it is above your living symptoms, okay? Then comes Vijnanamaya Kosha. So this stage is called Brahman realization. Brahman realization. What do you do? Here, the living entities, mind and life. Living entities, mind and life. You'd separate them. You'll try to understand living entity is different from the mind and from the life. 3 things. Okay, so you'll understand who you are. That is Brahman. That is the stage of realizing the Lord in the Brahman state. And finally comes the Anandamaya Kosha, or the last level. So this is the supreme stage where you realize the all blissful nature of the Lord. All blissful nature. You won't see him to your level. You don't think Krishna is like me. You don't think like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Madhava is like me. You will feel that blissful nature. So these are the 5 stages of understanding the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for you to understand this, you need the knowledge. So there are 5 great elements. What are the 5 great elements? If you remember this picture we discussed in our previous chapter, can you tell me what are the 5 great elements, the inferior elements of the Lord, of which this entire material world is made up of? What are the 5? Any idea? Okay, super fast answer. No, Deepali Mataji, that is sense objects or sun. No, not sun. No senses. The 5 great elements. Yes, Nita Mataji, very good. Air, water, fire, ether, and air, water, fire, ether, earth. Very good, Ambika Mataji. Absolutely right. So you have 5 things. False ego, 6th one. Intelligence, 7th. The unmanifested means the material modes, 3 material modes of the nature. And the 10 senses. Which are the 10 senses? 10 senses. We have 5 senses, isn't it? 10 senses. Which are the 5 senses? Can you answer me? 5 senses. We have 5 senses. That is simple. Very good, Vijay Kumari Mataji. Ear, nose, and then tongue, yeah, then skin, then eyes. Very good. These are 5 senses. You all are mixing it up. Devika Mataji. 5 senses. Then comes working senses. What are the working senses? Anyhow, you people have answered. That is voice. Okay. Legs. Yeah. Hands. Anus and genitals. So these are 10 senses. 10 senses. Then comes the mind. The 5 sense objects. Here Devika Mataji and Kiran Prabhuji's answer comes. The 5 sense objects. What are the 5 sense objects? From the nose, we smell. Yeah. From the eyes, we see the form. From the tongue, we get the taste. And from the skin, we can feel the touch. And from the ear, what we get? What we get to experience? The, from the ear, yes, the sound. You hear the sound. So these are 5 sense objects. With that, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, and aggregate, all of this. So if you count all of them, it will come to 28 in number. They all come up to 28 in number. So these are all the life symptoms. These are all the symptoms of the life and convictions. All these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interaction. So these are considered as the field of activities. This is where the activities will take place. And this is where we interact with the material nature. We interact with the material nature. That is the playground. That is the field where we are going to have the activities and we are going to interact. Okay, so we all are material, considered as material only from the body. This body, this gross body is the material form. But we, the soul, are not in the material nature. We are in the superior energy of the Krishna. Means we are inferior. Yes, we are part and parcel of the Lord. Part and parcel of the Lord. So here you need to understand another very important thing. Krishna is telling us what is knowledge. Mataji, please, it's very long. Yeah, Mataji.
Amanitvam adhambitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha indriyateshu vairagam ahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanudarshanam asaktir anabhisvangaha putra dhara grihadishu Nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu mai chananya yogena bhaktiravya vivikta desha sevitvam aratirjana samsadi adhyatmanyana nityatvam tattvajnanartha darshanam etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So what Krishna tells in shloka number 8 to 12 of this chapter, humility, pridelessness, non-violence. Non-violence means if you are not a Kshatriya, you are not going to take it up. Okay. If you are a Kshatriya, you need to do your duty. Okay. Means you should not hurt anyone until unless it is your duty. Yeah. Tolerance, you should bear everything. Simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master. Cleanliness, steadiness. If you have knowledge, you will keep yourself steady in the path. Self-control, renunciation of objects of sense gratification, whichever things pleases your senses, we need to renunciate them. Absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease. You should know what is this birth, death, old age, and disease. You should know why we have it. Yeah. Detachment. Detachment. You need to be everywhere. You should do all your duties. Yeah, but you should be detached. You should never be attached. Freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest. So this doesn't mean that you should not have a home, you should leave your children, you should leave your wife, you should leave your home. No. Whichever doesn't help us to serve Krishna, whichever condition is not good for us to serve Krishna, we should be detached from it. You should never be entangled. For example, in your family, if people are not able to understand about Krishna, then you can try to explain to them. Okay, and you can chant with them, you can chant. Seeing you doing different kind of devotional service, they might get attracted. If by chance they don't get attracted, they don't feel like following Krishna, no worries, their time has not yet come to know Krishna. So what you can do, you do your duty as the family member, do your duty as what you should take care in the home or in the office, but you should never be attached to them. Anyways, you should never be attached to anything in this material world. Yeah, but we got this body has a condition to get attached. That is the nature, that is the quality of this material body, isn't it? So we need not be entangled with these kind of relation, because they make us weaker. Yes. Yeah. Even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place. So solitary place means it doesn't mean you're going to leave this world here, okay, and go to any other place where there is no people or there is complete silence. Okay, so actually Krishna has already said us, who is a Nitya Sannyasi? Who is a Nitya Sannyasi? If you remember, Krishna already explained to us who is called a Nitya Sannyasi. Who is Nitya Sannyasi? He's every day, Nitya Sannyasi. Always he's a sannyasi. The one who leaves everything and goes. Okay. Always in Krishna consciousness. Yes. How can he be in Krishna consciousness always? The one who doesn't desire any results of his activities. And another one, very important thing, he never differentiates or he never hates. Yeah, he never hates the results. Two important things. You don't desire for the results and you don't hate the results. You don't desire that you get good or bad results from your work. And also, whatever the results you get, you don't hate it. You accept it. That's very important. Two important things. Yeah. So you can be a Nitya Sannyasi. For example, very simple. If you want to study for your exam, okay, what you do, or you have a meeting from your office or school or a college, what you do, you go to a place where it is not disturbing to you, isn't it? Similar way, you need to do devotional service, means you should associate yourself with the devotees. Yes, so you can choose a place which will help you to be in devotional service. Yeah, you can allot a time or you can allot a place so that you can be devoted to the Lord. Detachment from the general mass of people. So this material world, especially we are all in Kali Yuga, people having bhakti on Lord is very, very less. Okay, the percentage of people who have bhakti is less because this is Kali Yuga. Where is the Kali? Where is Kali? Any idea? Where is Kali? Where is he staying? Kali is the Rakshas of this Kali Yuga, isn't it? That's why it is called Kali Yuga. Where is he staying? Where is his home? Any idea? In our mind, in gold. But very important place, he is in our own mind. So people will be acting in a different manner, isn't it? So we are with the senses will get disturbed. So you need to choose like-minded people and try to keep yourself engaged in the work which is best for you. Best for you. Accepting the importance of self-realization. So you should know who I am. You should have the question to know what I am, why I am here. Okay. So you need to accept that importance of realizing yourself. Okay. And philosophical search for the absolute truth. So all these things, Krishna is declaring as knowledge. And besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. Ignorance. Please check today in the material world, in this Kali Yuga, people who are highly knowledgeable, means they have got degrees over degrees. Can you, for sure, you can give a guarantee that these people are the one who behave as human beings. They have good characteristics. They have good characters as human beings. Is there anywhere that you can prove whoever is having more degree, means more knowledgeable in this material science or material knowledge, they all are going to behave as the best? They are good. They have good character? No. So what does it mean? Whatever this material knowledge we are gaining, it is only to fill our tummy. That's all, nothing else. Some are filling it with just rice, some are filling with pizza, isn't it? Some are filling with biryani, some are eating only one day, some are eating 25 days at a time. That's all, isn't it? To make your life comfortable. But what Krishna is telling, the real knowledge is these things. Beside that, whatever is there, it is completely ignorance. Ignorance. So Krishna is telling us, I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Who is the knowable person? Who is this knowable? Brahman, the spirit, beginless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So Krishna is telling Brahman, it is the spirit. It doesn't have starting and ending. There is no beginning for it at all. It is eternal. And it is a subordinate. The Brahman is the subordinate of Krishna himself. So where does it lie? It lies beyond this material world. We saw that universe, isn't it? It is made up of the 8 energies of the Lord. Yes, 8 energy of the Lord. If you need to cross it, then Krishna told we need to surrender to him. Once you cross it, then that thing, then only you will go to Brahman. That is called Mahatattva. You need to cross those energies of the Lord. So energy created by the master, if you want to cross it, you should surrender to the master. So Krishna is telling about the Brahman, the spirit, which you need to know, which is about this material world. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Satvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam asaktam sarvabhrit chaiva nirgunam gunabhoktrucha.
Hare Krishna. So the super soul is the original source of all senses. That is why Krishna is called as Rishikesha. Rishikesha means the one who controls all the senses. Yet he is without senses. Please understand, he is without senses. So what does this statement mean? Krishna, we are telling here, he doesn't have sense. Then if you see the original form of Lord, there is eyes, nose, mouth, ears, skin, everything is there. What does this statement tell? He is without senses. What does it mean? Does it mean he doesn't have eyes? He doesn't have nose? He doesn't have hands? Doesn't have legs? Nothing? Does it mean that he is only the light? He doesn't have a form? Atindriya, not materialistic. Yes, Vijay Kumari Mataji and Ambika Mataji. He doesn't have the senses like us. He doesn't have the senses like us, which is controlled by the material nature. It is superior. It is not materialistic. Okay. He is unattached. Although he is the maintainer of all living beings, we are attached to this material world. But Lord is not attached. He is the controller of the material world. Because everything, spiritual and material things are originating from him. That he is the source. Yeah, but we are attached, not him. He transcends the modes of nature. So there are 3 modes of nature. I kept on telling there are 3 modes, 3 modes. So tomorrow's chapter, we are going to know about these 3 modes. In 3 modes, how people will react. What is their characters if they are in these 3 modes? What type of food they like? How do they live their life? How do they study in these 3 different modes. We'll come to know in tomorrow's chapter. It's such an important chapter to know in which mode we are and in which mode we all should be. Okay, so he transcends the modes of material nature. He's not going to come under the three modes. He transcends, he's superior to it. And at the same time, he's the master of all the modes of material nature. It doesn't come into control, and he's controlling these three material modes. You need to understand this. The supreme truth exists both internally and externally. So Krishna told in previous chapter that everything, living, non-living, spiritual world, material world, everything is strung as a pearl on a thread. So that thread, the holding thread is me. And he also said, I am Paramatma. As a Paramatma, I am in everyone's heart. Okay, so what does it mean? He exists both internally and externally. In the moving and non-moving, everything he is there. Material nature is also he, spiritual world is also he. Yeah, he is the source. He is beyond the power of material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all. Why this happens to us? Why do we have this contradictory? Like Krishna is inside also, he is outside also. Why do you think this is contradictory? How can a person who is inside can also be outside? Any idea? Why would we feel that it is contradictory? What could be the reason? Is there something wrong? Can they tell a person can be inside also, outside also? It is like I can be in America also and India also at a time. He is omnipresent. Why is omnipresent? Why is omnipresent? He is Ishtadama, but he reaches when needed. He knows everything. He is all pervasive. Like you see, when you take the sunlight, Hare Krishna is encompassing. So when you take sunlight, sun is one, isn't it? It's there somewhere. Yeah, it's in the solar system. You can see the sun. But what about the rays? It reaches every part of the earth. Wherever it is facing, it will reach every part of the earth. Does it mean sun is there? Completely sun is going to that place and staying? No, sun is there, the rays are also there. For example, you sitting in your house, you can control your bank account, isn't it? You can control your bank account. Does it mean you are in the bank delivering your instructions that you want money or withdrawing money, something you're doing? No, not at all. And very, very important is we all feel Krishna is to our level. We think I cannot do things, means how can Krishna do? You can't imagine. Like for example, we have so many characters, like all imaginary characters. We think there is Superman, Iron Man, etc., etc. And we see those movies and we believe, oh, a person could be like this. Yeah, he can fly from one place to another place. He can have a heart of kind of metal or a liquid, isn't it? Something like that. But when it comes to Krishna, we assume that how a small child can kill such a great demon like Putana, just a born baby, 2 days, 3 days, how can he kill? It's not possible. Why? Because we think Krishna is like us. As a baby, I can't even ask my mother, Mommy, give milk. I am hungry. I can't move anything. I'm not able to hold anything in my hand as a baby. That is me having this conditioned body. But Krishna is not like that. Because we assume Krishna is to our level, we expect him to be in our level. We pull him to our level. So it is difficult for us to understand. So please note here, he is the source of light in all luminous objects. He told, I am the light in sun and moon. Isn't it? He is beyond the darkness of matter. The spiritual world is not having sun or moon. Only the material world has sun or moon. The spiritual world is enlightened, completely lightened by the effluence of the Lord himself. He is so bright. If you remember in Vishwarupa Darshana, Arjuna said, as 1,000 suns are raising at a time, so much is your, the rays coming out from the body of God. He illuminates the spiritual world by his own light, which emits from his body. So he is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is the knowledge which you should get. He is the object of knowledge. You need to know him by knowing the knowledge. And he is the goal of knowledge. You should know Krishna, and using the knowledge, you should go to Krishna. And he is situated in everyone's heart. So if you see, the light is Krishna, yeah, and then the rays which reach you is also Krishna, yeah, the knowledge, the book is Krishna, and the person who was studying inside your heart, there is also Krishna. You cannot tell Krishna is that or Krishna is this. So this is very important. These are two birds. One bird is the super soul, Paramatma. Another one is us, the soul. We are on this tree. This tree is this material body. This tree is the material body. Both the birds are sitting on this tree. So can you tell me what is the difference between these two birds? What is the difference between these two birds? How are they different? You can see this picture. One bird is doing something, another bird is not doing anything. Yeah? What are they doing? How they are different? Are they same? Are they same or they're different? Karma, and other is witnessing. Very good, Vijaya Kumari Mataji. Very good. What is happening here? This soul, that is us, what is it doing? It is doing some activity, isn't it? Karma. It is doing some activity. It is eating the fruits of that tree. What is happening to this kind of, sorry, this is only coming with, okay. So you see this bird, what is it doing? It's observing what the other bird is doing. That is the difference. That is a difference. We have one of the greatest devotee of the Lord by name Kanakadasa. Okay. So he was a student, and his teacher will give him an activity. So to all his students, his teacher will give an activity. What the activity is, all the students will be given a banana, and the activity is everyone should eat that banana such that no one should see them eating the banana. They should eat the banana and tell tomorrow how they ate it, where they ate it. What is the condition? When they eat the banana, no one should see them. So if I give you that task, you should eat a banana where no one is going to see you. Where would you eat? Where would you eat? Where would you eat? Where no one should see you. No such place. Yes, Jayashri Mataji. Yes, Rachana Mataji. Why there is no such place? One cannot eat. The God is watching all the time. Yes, Rachana Mataji. Yes, Vijay Kumari Mataji. Absolutely right. One of the students told, I switched off all the lights. There was no light at all. Everything was off. And I hid myself under a blanket and ate it. Someone said I went to forest and I ate it. All gave the reason. But the Kanakadasa, he came and he gave back the banana to his teacher, telling, forgive me, teacher. I could not do this activity. Why? Because the Lord in my heart is observing. He can see. How can I eat when he's present? How can I eat when he's everywhere? Yeah, we can sleep, we can hide. That is why whenever you do wrong things, whenever you do good things, people may not notice it. Yeah, you might not be punished at that time, or you might not be given the best or a prize, or you might not be praised at that time. But Krishna is seeing you, isn't it? Is continuously seeing us. So he is the observer. Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
इति क्षेत्रं तथा ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं चोक्तं समासतः मद्भक्ता एतद्विज्ञाय मद्भावायोपपद्यते. Hare
Hare Krishna. Thus, the field of activities, that is the body. That is where you do activities. So that ground is nothing but this body. The knowledge and the knowable have been summarily described to you by me. Okay, so what is the knowledge? Knowing who is the controller of everything, who is the knowable, the soul and the super soul. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. Attain to my nature. Because Krishna has told, if you want to understand Krishna, you should be out of these three material modes. We are always under the clutches of material modes, three modes. What happens? We cannot understand who Krishna is. We are worried. We are entangled to these modes and material world. You can't understand the superior, which you should understand only when you go above it. You cross that part. Yeah. So who can do this? Only the devotees. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Material nature, the inferior energy of the Lord. Living entities, the superior energy of the Lord. They both are beginningless. Means they are eternal. They don't have starting and they are not end. They're always there. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature. So the living entity gets a different body. The material nature is going through different modes. We are under control of different modes of material nature. So this matter, when it comes in contact with the material world, what happens? There is transformation. So that is considered as the product of material nature. So that is the reason we get different bodies depending upon the results of our activities. In very simple words, the desire what we have, the lust of what we have. So you get different bodies, different bodies. So what is the role of association leading to 84 lakhs of species? What is the role of association? Means we are attached, we are associated with the material world. Yeah. So how this material world will lead us to take up any of these bodies in this 84 lakhs of species? How will we get this? Once you associate with the material world, what will happen to us? What will happen to us? We think, what we think, same we will become very good as per our karma. Yes, you do something expecting something, isn't it? We do work expecting something. Absolutely. Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Karya karana kartritve hetu prakritiruchyate purusha sukha dukhanam bhoktritve heturuchyate.
Hare Krishna. Karya Karana. Nature is said to be the cause of all material activities and effects. We tell that the Prakriti. Prakriti means the nature. The material nature is there. We are telling that is the cause of all material activities and effects. Whereas the living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. The living entity. We are the reason. For what reason? Because we want to enjoy something. We want something attached. For example, if you eat whatever you like without seeing whether it is right or not, is it prescribed for us to eat or not, and you just feed so that your senses are pleased, next life you get a typical kind of animal body. If you kill an animal in this life to feed yourself, then that animal should take a human life and you should take the body of that animal and that animal should kill you and eat. That is the cycle of karma. That is the cycle of karma. So living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyment in this world. So the living entity in the material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to its association with the material world. You associate yourself with the material world, you are going to struggle in this material world. If you associate yourself with Sri Krishna, you will be delivered from this material world. Very simple. Okay, this is due to the association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among us various species. So you can see there are different levels of species. Okay, the last level is human life. Altogether, all different types of species, it comes under 84 lakhs. So please note it, when you get a human body, depending upon how much devotional service you do, you can become a Brahma. You can become a Brahma for a universe. Yeah, you can do such a devotional service where you can get a position of Brahma. Or you can fall down to the lowest form of life. It depends on how do you associate, with whom do you associate. Okay, that is what we need to understand. So what are the two things that super soul does? Yet in this body, there is another, a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord. What do we think? We are the enjoyer. This body is for me to enjoy. They will tell, no, do somehow. You, even if you take loan also, see to that you enjoy your life. Life is only for few days. Enjoy it and forget. Whether you take loan from someone or you are giving pain to someone, don't bother. You enjoy. That's very important. We think we are the enjoyers. So Krishna is telling us here, yet in this body, there is another, a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord. The supreme proprietors. We think we are the proprietors of this body. Just imagine, I have a cut on my finger and I feel this body belongs to me. It is mine. I feel it. Leave other things. I feel this body is mine. Leave other material things. I have a cut on my finger. If I tell my finger, it's paining for me, immediately you get cured. Will the cut immediately get cured? If I say, if I order it, can it be done? My body, I am telling to my body, I am with this body for 24 hours, 365 days. Every second, millisecond, nanosecond, I am with this body. If I tell my body to bring back to my original condition, will it do it? Will it listen? Can I do it? No. I'm not able to control this body only. My own body I cannot control. How can you control other bodies? Not possible. Then how can you feel you are the proprietor? So who is the proprietor? Sri Krishna, who exists as the overseer and permitter. He is the one who sees everything and he is the one who gives permission to us. He is the permitter and who is known as the super soul. This is what we all have to realize. One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. If I tell you to go to Krishna or sit and chant, what you will do? Why Mataji told me to chant? You will chant 1 day, 2 days, 2 months, 3 months. Anyone will ask you, why are you chanting? No, this Mataji told, this ISKCON people told. Then they will ask, why they told, then you simply believe them. You should know the knowledge, isn't it? You should know why. You should know why I am like this. What is material nature? How I am interacting with the material nature? And what body I will get if I interact with it. If you have that knowledge, then for sure you're going to dedicate your life in devotional service. Then liberation is easy. The path is very, very easy. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. It means you might be the worst of worst person. You might be lying. You might have done sinful activities. You might be born to any class of this world. You might be male. You might be female. You might be a baby, or you might be the aged old person. You don't know whether you will be alive tomorrow or today. Even I don't know. We don't know when we are going to leave this world, isn't it? Any condition, however you are, if you understand this knowledge, then for sure you will get liberated from this birth and death cycle. Very important. Okay, that super soul is perceived by some through meditation. Some people can attain the Lord by meditation. By some through the cultivation of knowledge, and by others through working without fruitive desire. Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Yes, they'll try to attain. And Krishna is telling again to us here, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of the tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. Yeah, it's very, very important. How? If you cannot gain the knowledge yourself, yeah, you cannot do meditation. If you cannot do karma yoga, then what is the very simple thing? You can also go to a person, usually the spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, who knows about the absolute truth. Because you have a tendency to hear from the authorities, you should choose the authority and try to hear. We can also transcend to the path of birth and death. So this is Kapila Muni. He is son of this lady. So Mata is getting the knowledge from her own son. So they have the tendency to really listen. So if you come to know as a bona fide spiritual master, then it's our duty to gain knowledge from them. Just by gaining the knowledge, we can also transcend this path of birth and death. Okay, O chief of the Bharatas, whatever you see in existence, both moving and unmoving, is only the combination of field of activities and the knower of the field. So there is all body, yeah, activity, the body, and knower of the field, that is soul or super soul. Yeah, soul or super soul. There is nothing you can point out and tell there is no soul, there is no super soul. Okay, that is how it is been made up of. Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyat savinashyatvam yapashyati sapashyati.
Hare Krishna. So one who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all the bodies, and he who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul is ever destroyed, actually sees. So if you see bodies, 84 lakh species are there. If you see bodies, they all are different. Yeah, but for a person who has knowledge about the body, the knower, yeah, and the knowledge, and the great and the goal of the knowledge, if they know all these things, what they see that all the souls are accompanied by a super soul. And very important, the soul and the super soul, they can never be destroyed. Soul can never be destroyed. There is no birth, there is no death. It is eternal. It is eternal. So what is very important? One who sees the super soul in every living being and equal everywhere does not degrade himself by his mind. So Krishna already told us, if you want to succeed, control your senses, then you should control your mind by your intelligence. So once you come to know super soul is existing everywhere, then you will treat everything equally. So when you treat everything equally, you're an intelligent person. You will never degrade yourself by your mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination. Yes, one who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. So we all discussed right now. What did we discuss? We got this material body because of the results of our activities. We are enjoying today, we are suffering today because of our karma phalas. Yeah, but if you think I succeeded, I got success today because of my activity, I failed today because of my activity, we never think that we failed because of ourselves, isn't it? We'll blame everyone for our failures, but when it comes to success, we'll name ourselves, isn't it? But please note, a person, that is the soul, when he realizes that these activities are performed by the body, this body was given to us because to enjoy the karma phalas, suffer and enjoy for our karma phalas. Okay, that is because we came to material world, we are associated with the material world, and we have got all this baggages. Okay, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. So this is the truth. If you see this, then you're actually seeing things. You think I am the doer, I am the proprietor, I am controlling everything is in my hand. Then you're not seeing, you are blind. You're materialistically, you have eyes, but spiritually you are blind. The real science is not known to you. So that is what is self does nothing. We don't do anything. Whatever the activities you perform now, that will give you another body later. So all your desires are leading to us to get the body. So the sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in that body. For example, like you see, when you have the sun rays passes through everything in this material world, isn't it? Even though the sun rays is passing everywhere, sun rays are not mixing. Like if you take the smell, okay, a smell which spreads into the room, it can go inside the food, it can go into the stool, it can go into any material, but it doesn't mix with the component or the material. Similarly, we, the soul, are in this body. What do? We get mixed with this body. We feel the hand is me, this body is me. We got mixed. No, you are not this body. We are the soul. We are separate. We are completely separate. O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminates the entire body by consciousness. So we, the soul, when we enter this body, what we do, that is called as consciousness. When the soul enters, it gives consciousness to the entire body. When the soul leaves the body has no consciousness. That is why we call it as dead body. There is nothing. So that consciousness is illuminating the entire body, like sun illuminates the entire universe. Okay, we need to differentiate ourselves from the body. One who knowingly sees this difference between the body and the owner of the body and can understand the process of liberation from this bondage also attains to the supreme goal. If you keep on thinking, I am this body, I should be healthy, I should be happy, it's my duty to take care of everything, it's my duty to control everything, everything is in my hand, whatever I do, whatever I feel, I can get it. However I want, I can change things. If you think you're the proprietor, if you think everything is in your control, if you think you're the body, not the soul, then it's very difficult to think about liberation. Because when you don't know what is bondage, then how would you find liberation? Isn't it? Yes. If you don't know that you're doing a mistake, then how would you correct yourself? Right? So first of all, we should know what we are doing. Then only we can understand the other things. So for all these things, the knowledge is given in these last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. If you see this entire chapter, Krishna kept on telling when we come into contact with this 3 modes of material nature. So tomorrow, Krishna is going to tell us what are these 3 modes of material nature. Yes, so Arjuna asks 6 questions. So Krishna describes about what are they, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana. Yeah, everything he explains us. How the process of acquiring the knowledge we understood. Yes, Gneyam means object of knowledge is knowing the Lord himself. Prakriti, Purusha and union. So Prakriti is the material nature. Purusha is the one who is enjoying the nature. Yeah, you need to understand. And the vision of knowledge is to know Krishna himself. To know Krishna himself. So by this, today's chapter is done. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. So tomorrow, we all can understand the very important part, why we are acting like this. What is this material modes? That's a very interesting chapter. It will tell, if you are reading a book, no, depending upon which mode of material world, material nature is acting on you, Depending on that, a person will choose a book to read. The way you get up in the morning, for what reason you get up, that also is linked. The food you like, why do you like certain type of food, that is also linked to this modes, how we are controlled by this modes of nature. We'll understand it tomorrow. It's a beautiful chapter, don't miss it. Hare Krishna. Welcome, Rachna Mataji, Prapti Mataji, Kiran Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Anyone has doubt? Anyone has doubt? No doubts? Very good. I hope there should be two things. One thing is I'm able to deliver the message to you properly, whatever Krishna is telling. Or the other thing is, Mataji, you carry on with the class. We are not bothered. We didn't listen anything. Two things should be the reason if you don't ask me the question. Or whatever I told was content enough for you that you're fine with it. There should be doubts. You need to get doubts. Don't get satisfied with what I'm telling, because whatever I'm telling is not complete. There is so much. When I attend the higher level of this Bhagavad Gita class, I myself don't get answers, because it's completely in a higher level of understanding Bhagavad Gita, and deeper understanding of Bhagavad Gita. I mean to tell, many questions arise to us, and sometimes my teacher will ask some question, my guru will ask my question, will not be able to answer because we would have not seen the Bhagavad Gita shlokas in that way, which you need to actually see. So I hope you get good number of questions. Don't get satisfied with my, teachings. You need to come up with good number of questions to understand it more. If you ask more questions, we'll get more answer and better and clear answers. So I hope you all will understand this Bhagavad Gita, understand it better, and try to change your life, the way you are leading your life, so that you all will be delivered from this material world. If not, we all will stay here only and enjoy again. We'll take birth again. We will go to the school. From pre-nursery, we'll go to the school again, attend all the exams. Again grow up. Again, marry, then go for, first you go for job, then you marry, then have kids, then get your kids married. Means the cycle keeps on. Birth, death, cycle keeps on going on. Okay. As if body is doing karma, how self is affected? Yes, Vijay Kumari Mataji, really an absolutely important question. Thank you so much to coming up with this question. So what happens is, whenever we get this body, as we discussed today, we got this body because of our karma phala. Okay. So we think we are this body. You got it? We think we are this body. If you remember, even today's chapter also, Krishna told, like, a person who sees everything equally, happiness, distress. Okay, if someone praises you, if someone scolds you, in the success, in the failure, a soul should act equally. It means we are not affected by those things. What is affected by those things? This body. Why it is affected? We got this body for enjoying things or for suffer. Two things only. But what we have done, we are attached to this body, and we feel this hand has got cut. I feel my hand has got cut. Please know, nothing can cut us. That is soul. But I feel this is cutting. I have pain. We are associated to the body. That is why we feel that we are getting affected. Not at all. That is what Krishna told. You should not think that you are the doer. We are not the doers. We are not. We are just observing what's happening around. We feel, and then we have that slight freedom. We have the slight freedom to choose among good and bad. What we do, we see everywhere, it's so beautiful, people all are enjoying, and you also feel that I am this body, even I want to enjoy. Even I want to enjoy, and we'll choose things for temporary enjoyment, that is material world. And again, we are associated with the baggage of good and bad. And you get another body. Means, as I already told you in your before classes, we are already preparing our body. We have already booked our body for the next life, depending upon what all activities we are doing. That is why Krishna told, whatever your present condition is, if a person knows who they are, what is the field, okay, field of activities, who is the knower, if you come to know who is the controller, if you come to know, for sure, you will get into devotional service. Because once you have knowledge, the result of knowledge is activities. What are activities? The one which you're going to do depending upon what knowledge you got. So when you come to know who is Krishna, who is soul, you will know what to do, right? So he told immediately, whatever position he is, he will be delivered. He will come out of the cycle of death. So when we say we are suffering, who is suffering? Body is suffering. We are attached to this body and we feel we are suffering. Nothing can hurt us. We are waterproof, we are fireproof, we are bulletproof. Yeah. And we are, what is that? A weapon proof also. We cannot suffer, Mataji. We are associating ourselves with the body and we are suffering. And we are associated, once we come to this material world, we get attached to everything. For very simple thing, if you have a pen, you'll tell, if someone takes your pen, this is my pen. Someone took, I lost my pen, I'll tell. Means I'm already associated with this pen. Yeah, that is how the nature of material body is. Deepali Mataji. Oh my God, there is a very big question. Okay, Hare Krishna. Deepali Mataji, I'll answer you. Mataji, what does the tilak signify? Actually, we already discussed today. This body, in the heart, there is soul and super soul. Paramatma is there. So this body, if you understand, this is the home in which we have the Lord. So it becomes a temple. So we decorate the body with tilak, gopi chandan. Gopis are very close to the Lord. Yeah, we decorate this body with the tilak. Yes, so we apply it at 12 different places, taking very important names associated with the different places. And please note that when we put the tilak and serve the Lord, you can attend the Lord easily. And tilak is like a marking for us, for the same way as our kantimala. Like, you know, if you see a dog, Prabhupada will always tell, if you see a dog, it has a belt, it means that it has a honor. Yeah, so this kantimala is also like that for us. We have a belt, means we are the servants of the Lord. I have a master, that is Sri Krishna. But it's very, very important. Tilak and these things purify our body. You clean your body externally by taking bath. Internally, how do we clean our body? By chanting. And you decorate the body. Yes, that is why tilak is very important. We always wear tilak. Anita Mataji, when we do not know which body we are going into, why should we worry about it? Yes, Mataji, we are not supposed to worry about it. But you can control from getting such bodies. Yeah, by not following the path of getting attached to the material world. Yes, if you don't know, it means that you are not gaining the knowledge. So we have Srimad Bhagavatam, we have Garuda Puran, okay, we have so many scriptures wherein it will tell what type of body we get depending upon what type of activities we do. Okay, so if you know that, you will surely come to know what activity you should do and what activity you should not do. Hare Krishna. We are giving some glimpse in the classes now and then. There, if you eat like this, you'll get this body. If you keep sleeping, you get this animal body. If you expose yourself, then next life you will get a tree body. Yeah, these are some glimpses we are giving, but detailed information you get it from Shastras. You can check it out. Mihir Prabhuji. Okay. That in Ramayana, Sita Mata asked Rama for the deer because she wanted to eat it. I'm not aware of it, Mata Prabhuji. Not for eating. I'm very sorry. I don't think so. It's for eating. And this, so pardon my lack. So, however, if this would be true, then the karma theory that you explained about eating. No, Prabhuji, I don't think Mata Sita asked for it. The deer was so beautiful, she wanted to have it. Yeah, she asked to have it. No, they didn't kill. Sorry, Prabhuji, I really don't know from where you got it. But according to my knowledge, no, she didn't ask it for eating. Whatever it is. For example, I need to tell you another story. Like Narada Muni, he wanted, he's the son of Brahma, isn't it? So Brahma, they wanted Narada Muni to help in creation of mankind, yeah, to get children and have the mankind in the universe. But he will not accept. He'll tell, I want to serve the Lord. So his father gets angry and he punishes by cursing him. So he'll come down from Brahmaloka, he'll come to heavenly planets. There also, when he was as a Gandharva, he was there. He was taking part in all singing and dancing. Once he forgot himself, instead of praising the Lord, he praised the people there. Yeah, people there. He did not praise the Lord. So again, he got cursed from the heavenly planets and he came down to the earth. Okay, when he came down to the earth, he was born as the son of a dasi, a servant. Okay, because he has done some devotional service, what happened? He got a chance to stay and serve some of the saints who are doing Chaturmasa. Actually, we are in Chaturmasa right now. These 4 months are very, very important for the devotees of the Lord, where they do most of the devotional service to please the Lord. These 4 months is considered more auspicious. So we are about to enter the 2nd month. Okay, I'm finishing 2nd month. We are entering. So it happens like that. It happened like that. Narada Muni got a chance to serve the saints in this Chaturmasa, and he could hear it about the Lord by the saints. Means they are the masters who know the truth. Because of this, he was delivered and he got his position as Narada Muni back. So please understand, anyone to that matter, whichever world you are, if you desire something, you will get a body to fulfill your desire. If you desire to serve Krishna, Krishna will give you that body. If you desire to eat, be like an animal, he'll give you that body. You desire to enjoy yourself as a female or male, you get that body. Anything desired, results are attached to you. And Krishna will give you that body to fulfill your desires. Another link to this question is the consumption of dairy products. Cows and buffaloes are treated cruelly so that they produce excess milk, which we consume. Isn't it this karmic debit? Absolutely right, Prabhuji. Before this was not the situation, right? Now situation is totally changed. Yes. So please make sure from where you get this products, dairy products, okay, as much as possible, and try to consume it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Dipali Mataji. Pallavi Mataji, is it true that in this birth we can learn about our past lives? Via past life regression, hypnosis, etc. Why is it that our soul doesn't remember neither our past lives nor what the soul goes through during death and before it enters into the next body? That is the nature of this body, Mataji. It's an activity. If you remember, I told you the story of Sukamuni. Sukamuni is the parrot of the Radharani. When it entered Vedavyasa's wife's womb, what happened? He did not want it to come out of the womb at all, because he knows that once he comes out of the womb, he comes to the material world. He gets the material body, and the material body has a condition. What is that condition? You'll forget everything. Yeah. For example, when you wear a raincoat, what is the quality of that or the characteristics of that raincoat? It will not absorb water. Yeah, when you wear something cotton, it will absorb the water. Means it has a characteristics. Body, when it covered by some cloth, it has a characteristics. Similarly, we are the soul. We are wearing this body as a cloth. Okay, so this has a characteristics. What is it? It is going to forget all its past. Yeah, all its past. Like for example, if you see in Garuda Purana, it is given like that. When you are in the womb of your mother, yeah, actually you cry, you suffer, and you plead the Lord that, you know, all the worms, germs inside the body because of your own urine, excrete, etc. The baby, the soul will cry, telling that, please forgive me. I've again come and fallen down this material world. Please forgive me. I'll serve you and come to you. That is how the soul will pray. But once it comes out of the body, you see it cries and come. It forgets everything and come. That is the material characteristics of the body, the gross body. That is the characteristics. So that is the reason we forget. Yes, there are yogis, there are the great acharyas. Some of them do yoga such that they get divine powers. Okay, they get divine powers who can see past, present. If you remember, there are greatest Rishi Munis who can see our future, who can tell what was in the past. If you read the Ekadashi Katha, I mean, every Ekadashi there is a story, very important story. If you just read it, you will be delivered from the sins. Tomorrow is also Ekadashi in India. other parts of India, day after tomorrow is the Ekadashi. If you see there, usually people who approach the saints' duty are to deliver the people from this material world and give them very important information so that they'll go to the spiritual world. And saints have the capability because of their, their activities which they do to approach the Lord. They will get some power. So they have the chances. Like that, we also have some people who can help us to understand what happened to us in our previous life. Thank you, Prabhuji. Mataji, fasting for Ekadashi is tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Mataji, if you are in India, it is tomorrow. Outside India, then it is. Some places it's day after tomorrow, some it's tomorrow. Please note down from which place you are. For me, it's day after tomorrow. For India, it is tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Pallavi Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, whoever has Ekadashi tomorrow, kindly fast on Ekadashi. Ekadashi is Haridina. Krishna allows this day. Anything you do on this day, it has, the results will be multiplied, 1,000 times. Okay. If you're chanting one round, kindly try to chant more. Okay. And fasting, please don't take any grains. Yeah, you can take anything else. You can take milk products or dairy products, I mean to tell. You can take water, you take fruits, non-grain. Yeah, you can take non-grain foods. Plus try to avoid grain food. Okay. Chant as much as possible or listen to Krishna's pastimes. Yeah, read any book on Krishna's pastimes. Try to spend tomorrow's day thinking about Krishna. Okay, 15 days once Ekadashi comes. Both the Ekadashis are done by the devotees of the Lord to get delivered from this material world and to get devotion to serve the Lord better. Okay, so please kindly chant tomorrow as much as possible. Yeah, however your condition is, to depending on your condition, see how much you can do the fasting. Okay, you can have only milk or only water, or you can have fruits all the 3 times, however comfortable, but try to avoid grains. No grains tomorrow. Pallavi Mataji, yes, it is like that. For example, if you see in our Krishna's pastime, the cows were so pleased to give milk to Krishna. Okay, so there is, for example, when Krishna told us Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, he told us to give any of this, I will be pleased. Yes, so that much if we give, it's enough for him, he will be pleased. But the cow, the product of it, the milk of it, see, all the milk is not for the calf. Okay, first you need to feed the calf. The mother's milk should go to the baby first. Okay, after that, whatever is remaining only is for us. But now it is different. Nothing goes to the baby, everything comes to us. Yeah, that's a totally wrong procedure. And if you see all the plants, we take the fruits of it. We just take the seeds of it or leaves of it. Okay, usually we try to have the byproducts, not the whole plant, not the whole tree. That is how things go on, isn't it? So we have come to the Kali Yuga where many things are mixed up such that only to keep you healthy, we are ready to eat anything. Okay, so there is some gap between what our ancestors were doing and what we are doing. So this misconception of not having these milk products or dairy products, it's wrong. Now it's wrong because they're torturing the animals without feeding their own kids. They have been snatched from the love or the food which they should give for their kids, and it's given to us. Then absolutely right, Mataji, we're not supposed to take it like that. Okay, we're not supposed to take it like that. Yeah, so Krishna has given us so much of things, so many of it, which can help us to keep us strong enough to survive and to serve the Lord. That much if you take enough. Krishna has told we should see everyone equally, isn't it? How much? Because you need to also live, isn't it? Yeah, so how much is required for you can consume only that much. But we are all controlled by our tongue. We please to satisfy our tongue. So we are choosing all kind of things. Tomorrow in the next chapter, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, tomorrow's chapter, Krishna will tell how people will consume food, in what guna they are, and what guna we should be if we want to approach the Lord. Yeah, tomorrow we'll come to know, Mataji. But yes, if something is hurting, your activity is hurting some things, whether it is living or non-living, it's not considered. Okay, so they were great sages. They were not eating the food, okay, which was cooked or something. They were waiting for a fruit to fall down on the earth by itself. Then also they were not choosing, thinking they should be taken by some worms or something. They used to wait. They were eating the fallen leaves, the fallen fruit, the fruit which is eaten by another animal and thrown. Like this, and all the sages were there. Yeah. But for us who are in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to live like that. If I tell you, wait till the tree allows you to fall down a tree, leaf, then you eat it, then you eat the fruit. It's not possible. We need to maintain this body because our lifespan is very, very less. To see to that you choose a food which is not going to hurt any other living being. It should be a byproduct, yeah, which is extra for that component or that living component. Then you can consume it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jai Shri Mataji. I hope I have answered your questions. And if you want to know even more, then you need to read Bhagavad Gita. And it's like you cannot finish it. We have level 2, level 3, and level 4. By the time you reach level 4, you will understand that whatever you got in level 1 is nothing. Yeah. So it's such a beautiful knowledge. Better understanding from a bona fide spiritual master will help us to know things better. You can guide yourself first, and you can also guide others. Okay. So telling that, let me finish today's class. Hare Krishna, everyone. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna arpanamastu. Thank you so much, Chitra Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. I'm ending the meeting.